This is a question for Islamic scholars, especially those who are unapologetic when it comes to Islamic jurisprudence. This is not a question for hypocrites. This is not a question for Islamic apologists. This is a question for real Islamic scholars. So when you preach that Muslim women should cover up because that safeguards them from onlookers, from possible rapists, and from those who intend to harass them, because that's what the Quran says, that it safeguards women. That's what the Quran says. So when you look at non-Muslim women, do you drool? Or if I drool, how can I control myself? Because there is not a single instruction from the Quran where it makes mandatory for non-Muslim women to cover up. All the instructions are for Muslim women. So what about non-Muslim women? So when I should take a look at non-Muslim women, will that be haram? Now, if you're saying that Muslim men should be guarding their vision, then the question is, what about the companions of Muhammad? Were they guarding their visions when they were having war captives and where they were distributing the war captives, the war booties? Because I remember the story of Safiya. When Safiya fell to the Muslims and along with all her friends, Muhammad's companions went to Muhammad and told him that Safiya was a beautiful woman and Muhammad was the one to have her. And Safiya was brought to Muhammad and Muhammad had Safiya. So how did the companions of Muhammad know that Safiya was beautiful unless they were distributing all the captive women and they were judging them by their beauty? So were the Muslim soldiers drooling or were they not drooling at the war captives? So when you are looking at non-Muslim women, do you look at them with respect? Or should a Muslim look at them with respect? Because hey, when most of you give lectures on hijab and burqa, you give it in such a way that not wearing hijab, not wearing burqa would be like acting like sluts. Well, don't give me that shit that no, it's other, no, it's not that. I have seen softy approach when it comes to hijab and niqab when you are lecturing in non-Muslim lands, but when in Muslim lands like in Bangladesh, almost all Islamic scholars, when they deliver speeches about hijab and niqab, they will always tell us that don't act like sluts, don't invite rape, don't invite harassment, because as the Quran says, for your protection from potential harassments, where we cover up, you cover up. So if you are saying, no, we do it, Muslim women should do it because it's simply the instruction of Allah, then why should the Creator be bothered much about what you wear? Why? Why should he be much bothered? He created us all naked anyway, right? Shouldn't it rely on our mind, how we control our mind? And so what about Muslim men living in mainly non-Muslim Christian or atheist countries? Are we not obliged to control our looks? So if you are telling me that it all depends on individual looks and how we control ourselves, then hijab, niqab, covering up is irrelevant. Otherwise, all Muslims should simply leave non Muslim majority countries where Sharia doesn't rule.